All right, this is Jenny McKenna. You've met before, and this is John Elliott. He's with Service Pro, Celebrity Pro, excuse me. And so Jenny's going to go through. By the way, notice the front yard. They've redone everything.
It looks really good. So there's no complaints or anything that we need to do with the front of this property. So we're sitting here at 2839 Floral Peak Drive, great community.
Don't we have one right next door?
We do. We also have a couple that are a couple streets down.
Yeah.
Always been great rentals. Love the community. Park that is just down the street and a walking trail over there that follows the trail.
John, please, on all these ones, please wrap insulation around there. You know, I don't want a fancy hood or nothing, just some insulation. I don't want those things popping.
And the association just recently, I think it's been within the last 18 months, maybe 2 years because time flies, all of the exterior of these buildings have been repainted. So the HOA did all that and modernized the community, so that's really nice. All right, so here...
By the way, you're going to discover why Jenny needs to be in here, because she's probably going to reject half the things that I wanted to do.
So here is our courtyard. For right now, I am suggesting that we do nothing other than just clean it up. So we just, anywhere that there's been a hole, we just fill the hole, we get rid of any of the loose leaves, and we just leave it as it is.
Okay.
As time goes on, the more you do to this courtyard, the more appealing it will be for tenants. But for right now, since we have things inside that we need to deal with, let's just have this just be a one-time cleanup.
Okay.
This scares me a little bit. So this either needs to get removed, which I would have no problem with, or it needs to get reattached, because that's gonna just slice somebody.
Oh, it is. So John, you pick.
You can completely remove this, or you can fix it. It's up to you.
Remove it.
Okay. Walk into here. This is going to be your first initial impression of the property. And what I don't like is I don't like this flooring. So this flooring is a very low grade laminate. I believe that somebody was a DIY job. They did it themselves. And it's not even that, you know, we try and put these together and we make this work. However money and time you spend on trying to make this work, it's money lost.
Okay.
So you just bite the bullet and you need to put something down here that looks kind of like wood, so that we're not competing against the ceramic, so we can still have the wood feeling here, but it can be a ceramic or it can be a heavy grade laminate. It'll look like planks and it'll be the grouting in between, and it'll be really nice. So they can give you a bit on that. Notice though, 1, 2, 3 windows, all with very cheap blinds that should not stay. So these all need to be replaced, and that'll be through the whole house. So every time you see a window, we're gonna want a faux wood blind on that's white, that's gonna look really good on the windows. Baseboards in here all will get painted white. So we can leave the wood, but we're gonna need to paint them white.
Okay. We need a trim strip. When you're redoing the floor, all that'll be taken care of.
They'll take care of all that. We are missing a slat here. If we can find the same kind of slat, we will put that in. The odds of us finding that are probably slim to none. So if that's the case, we're going to have to replace this. We'll go with the standard white, so then we could change out slats later on. Like the ceiling fan, though it's extremely dirty, we'll clean that up. We need to go white again on all these baseboards so it makes our walls pop. We also want to paint this railing white, so then that way your staircase will have a nice feel to it. They'll fix the AC return so that that's easier for them to change out the filters. On this, notice here, do I have another light? Okay, good. I was worried from the video that I was going to have to paint these cabinets, that they were too dated. But now that I'm here in person, I like them. I think they work. They're a rustic kind of look to them. They don't really scream out to me dated. They just scream a certain kind of character to them. However, this shows too much wear and tear. So I want them to paint this panel white. But all the rest of the cabinet faces, they'll all just be adjusted. All of the handles will be tightened. So they'll be functioning great, but we're not going to have to paint them. So that saves us some money. Though this countertop has to go. This is too dated. There's no way anybody's going to like Formica in here. This has got to go granite. When you go granite, you're going to need to get a sink and you're going to need to get a new faucet. So I believe the seller is doing a new white dishwasher. I believe if not, we're going to need to get a white vent. So if seller replaces it, great. If not, then that's what we're going to need to do. We are going to have to match a white refrigerator as well. So this kitchen will all have white appliances. Look up there, you're going to see probably one of the ugliest lights known to mankind. We want to remove it. We want to go ahead and put in what we have done on other properties where it modernizes it John, are they called a certain kind of light? I call them an eyeball light, but is there a better terminology of the kind of light we want?
You don't want track
lighting?
lights?
Yeah, it's like track with the adjustable eyeball lights. Okay.
It's called track light.
Is it 6 or 4 bulbs that you would want to put here?
With track lighting, we can put in whatever you want in there.
Okay,
You
so
can slide them.
yeah, so like 6 would be great unless you think that's too much. I think 4 might be a little too low. So somewhere on that, we'll get that modernized a little bit. In here, you'll notice something that every tenant will hate. I will demonstrate. You come in from the garage, you turn on your light. Sounds like an airplane is taking off.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to change that out to be a separate switch. So the vent can be turned on and the light can be turned on. And then again, all this can stay. This needs to get taken care of a little bit better.
We're talking about the work they did is not very good. They didn't retexture it. It's kind of sticking out.
Right.
And that's a minor thing.
So this will look pretty when it's all said and done. You do have here in the garage a little bit of water damage that's down here. That's going to get investigated to find out why that occurred and make sure that if we want to fix that, we'll put that on the list. However, the seller is going to fix this. And we have some slats in there. So if those slats are the right slats, we can use them. Sweet. Perfect. So we'll have to stretch those out because they've been curled up, but that would be awesome. So in here, this is your garage. I prefer if this got painted. However, it will not kill a deal for a tenant. So if we need to, if we can, if we've got it in the budget and we can paint this, that'd be great. One other thing to notice, they got this not centered.
Well, that's that way in all of them.
Okay, good. Because I was going to say that's why your plywood bar is there. Puts a little extra stress on your garage door. Don't be surprised if in 3 or 4 years we're going to have to do something.
Seriously, we've had enough inspections on these where they're all done this way. This one, normally it bolts on to like here, but the bolt's been pulled out, so they just put this...
Just to make sure it's steady.
Yeah, so that should be fine.
Perfect.
Now, before I get away from here, Ron Cooper, the inspector, was not able to see here because we had an ocean of garbage here. He couldn't even get near this thing, so I'm going to ask Ron to come back out and find out why they've got this tube there, because that's not something we normally see.
And, Eric, I don't want a tube coming.
No, we don't. It shouldn't be a tube.
So yeah, I don't, that, a tenant will crush that, mess with that.
Oh, absolutely.
I do know that we have a cat door here that we're going to get that sealed up or replace this fire door in the garage. It's up to you guys.
Can you give me a choice on the
Yes.
cost option there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
This one, all it was just the countertop, so everything else seemed to be fine. Oh,
Yeah.
no, one other thing.
Front of the cabinets there.
Okay. This is also very loud. He can get us a quieter one.
Yeah.
So that'll go nice and quiet. There is a sink replacement here.
Yes.
Okay. And countertop.
Now, what about, can we do front of the cabinets? Can we just wax those?
Yeah, we can lemon oil these. You're not going to get them to look much different. You're just going to get a little bit more shine to it.
All right.
This is a half bath off of a kitchen. Is probably not going to be used, so I'm not terribly worried that took a little bit.
What about putting a quiet vent in there as opposed to rewiring? Because rewiring is expensive.
According to John, it's not too bad.
What do you think, John?
I think it'd be easy.
Okay.
When he said easy, that's why I thought, well, let's just do that.
Honestly, it'd be a lot cheaper just to replace a fan.
Okay, so
We're not cutting, we're not fishing, we're not moving the wire.
if it's a quiet fan, so that I walk in here and I'm not feeling like I'm getting, then I'd be okay with that.
Okay.
But remember, this is my only light coming in from the garage. So I don't want to get blown away with a vent. And if I want to use the vent to help with the washer dryer, I want to use it. Okay. Carpet, unfortunately, is not going to be able to be salvaged. So we're going to have to get rid of the carpet. We'll go with our standard color, which is more of a beige brown. This is the master. Now this has a door lock on it. I'm not a big fan of those kind that somebody can lock from inside. If we've got it on the budget, I would like to have a non-locking doorknob.
Okay.
Okay. In here, we're going to do our best not to have to do too much patch-up work. There is a cable cord that's going to cause us to do some.
It literally runs here around both doors and then comes all the way back to here, which we don't understand.
We don't understand. So at this point, we're going to clean all that up and touch that up. We'll put some globes onto that ceiling fan. In here, we are going to match the granite from downstairs back up into here so there's uniformity. And then there's a couple little things like a towel bar that needs to be reinstalled.
Okay. On these sinks, Home Depot, I think it was, or Lowe's, can't remember. They have this 31-inch. You might want to measure that. I could say this, and see if we can get a standard one that just drops in there, because that's a lot cheaper than custom granite. So I need a choice on that one.
Okay. Master closet's fine. It's just the standard, so we're good on that. In this bathroom, we have a cracked countertop, so no matter what, that's going to go to that granite as well. That way we'll have all 3 bathrooms with the granite, we'll have the kitchen with the granite. That'll be a nice feature. Towel bar installed, shower rod installed. So from cosmetically, that's what I'm seeing in here. Both these rooms are going to be tough for you to see because there's no light.
Well, I'll go pull the curtain open.
Okay. So these rooms just really need blinds, and they need the new carpets. Everything else in here is just very standard, and there's nothing we really need to do about it.
Okay.
Okay. That's in the room next door to us here. We have the mirrored closet doors that have not been put on, so we'll get those reinstalled.
Okay.
And cleaned up, because of course there's going to need to be a great janitorial done on the property once all the work is finished.
You know, on these smoke detectors, you can buy a pack of 4 for like $50, and they're 10-year battery life.
With a 10-year battery life?
Yeah. I mean, and but I saw them at that's what I bought for my place and then for Cleo's place. Go ahead.
Now, because we're ripping up the carpet, there's no reason why we shouldn't be painting these baseboards the white.
Right.
We don't need to replace them, we just need to paint them. So we will be repainting these baseboards to match the actual white trim everywhere. Also, since we're ripping up the carpet here, we can do white all along there to match what our stair rail is going to be. So that's going to look really good. But there is going to be some touch-up required. We don't need a full paint, but there is touch-up that's going to be required on a few areas. Okay. Other than that, I think the place looks great. I like it. We know this floor plan. We know this neighborhood.
And
it's a great rental.
I think you have one right next door of ours. And then we have maybe 6 or 8
We have one on Cool Waters.
Yes.
And then there's another one.
Mill Point.
That's Mill Point. I was just saying, I forgot the other one on Mill Point, but yeah. So we have, what, 4?
At least.
At least, yeah. And they've all been phenomenal.
Okay. All right. John, any comments here?
When do you want to start?
As soon as you finish the work on Borough Park.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Bye-bye.